He thought she was a thief until she said, "My parents died today, and I just want some food." Chapter 1. The Taking. Maya's hands shake as she shoves the third bread roll into her jacket pocket. The plastic crinkles too loud in the empty store. Her face is streaked with dirt and tears she keeps wiping away with her sleeve. She's not good at this. Never had to be. Stop right there. The voice cuts through the afternoon silence like a blade. Maya freezes. Breadcrumbs falling from her jacket onto the worn wooden floor. Sheriff Jack Crawford stands behind the counter, his hand resting on his badge. The store belongs to his family. Has for 3 generations. The same shelves his grandfather built by hand. The same register his father used to ring up penny candy for local kids. Turn around. Slow. Maya does. Her face is a mess of grief and panic. Jack sees she's just a kid, but his jaw stays set. This is his store, his rules, his town. Empty your pockets. I can pay. Her voice cracks on the words. With what? She pulls out a crumpled $5 bill. It's damp from her sweaty palm. Not enough for what she took. Not even close. That's stealing, girl. You know what happens to thieves around here. Maya's eyes dart to the door. Jack steps closer, blocking her path. The afternoon light streaming through the windows catches the dust floating between them. Makes everything look suspended in time. Please. Just what? Just thought you'd take what isn't yours. The bread rolls tumble to the floor as Maya's hands shake harder. Jack's seen this before. Desperation wearing a young face. Kids who think they can take shortcuts. But he's also seen what happens when you let things slide. When you go soft. When you forget that rules exist for a reason. My parents died today. The words hit the silence like stones thrown into still water. Jack's hand freezes on his badge. His mouth opens slightly, then closes. What did you say? Car accident. This morning. State trooper came to school. Maya's voice breaks completely now. I just want some food. Haven't eaten since breakfast. Since before they... Jack studies her face. The red-rimmed eyes. The way she holds herself like she might collapse if the wind picked up. The way her school clothes are wrinkled like she's been sitting on the ground somewhere. You got somewhere to go? No. Family? No. The store feels smaller suddenly. 2. Quiet except for hum of the old refrigerator in the corner and the tick-of-the-wall clock his mother hung 40 years ago. Jack looks at the bread scattered on the floor. At this girl who looks like she might blow away. What's your name? Maya Reeves. Reeves. The name hits Jack in the chest like a fist. He knows that name. Knew her father, Tommy. Good man. Worked construction when there was work to be found. Quiet type who kept his head down and his mouth shut. Your daddy built a new church roof. Maya nods, wiping her nose with her sleeve. Jack bends down and picks up the bread. Sets it on the counter with careful hands. His mind is racing now. Reeves. Christ. Of all the kids who could have walked into a store today. You can't just take things. Even when he stops, looks at her again. Really looks. Even when the world falls apart. I know. Do you? She meets his eyes for the first time. There's something there. Not just grief, but still underneath. Something that won't break easy. Yes, sir. Jack rings up the bread. The register dings as it opens. The total comes to $8.47. He looks at her $5 bill lying on the counter. This your lunch money? Was. He opens a register, puts her 5 inside, but doesn't ask for the difference. Doesn't close the drawer for a long moment. Take the bread. Maya hesitates. Her eyes narrow slightly. Take it. She does. Clutching the bag against her chest like it's the only thing keeping her upright. Were you planning to sleep tonight? I don't know. Jack's chest tightens. He thinks of his own daughter, Emma, somewhere in the city. College girl now who barely calls. Thinks of what he'd want someone to do if she was alone and scared in a strange place. Store closes at 8. Come back then. Why? Because I said so. Maya heads to the door, then stops, her hand on the handle. Sheriff. Yeah. Thank you. After she's gone, Jack stands alone among his shelves of canned goods and penny candy. The afternoon light is fading now, casting long shadows across the wooden floors his grandfather installed by hand. Every plank cut and fitted with pride. He thinks about thieves, about hungry children, about the thin line between justice and mercy that he's walked his whole career, about names that carry weight, about debts that pass from father to child like heirlooms nobody wants. His radio crackles to life. Static, then a voice. Jack, you copy? Copy. Got a report of a fatal accident out on Highway 9 this morning. Tommy and Sarah Reeves. You know them? Jack closes his eyes. Sees Tommy Reeves hammering shingles on the church roof last summer. Quiet man who always nodded when they passed on the street. Never caused trouble. Never asked questions. Yeah, I know them. Child Services is looking for their girl. Maya, 17. You seen her? Jack looks at the door where Maya disappeared. At the breadcrumbs still scattered on his floor, like evidence of something he can't name. Not yet, but I'll keep an eye out. Copy that. Let us know if she turns up. Kids got nowhere to go. The radio goes quiet. Jack stands in the growing darkness, not bothering to turn on the lights. He reaches for the broom behind the counter and starts sweeping up the crumbs. Each stroke echoes in the empty store as shadows settle over the town, like a blanket pulled over sleeping eyes. Outside, the wind picks up, rattling the windows and carrying with it the weight of old secrets that refuse to stay buried. Chapter 2. The Keeping. 8 o'clock. Maya stands outside the dark store, bread long gone, nowhere else to go. Her stomach gnaws at itself. Jack appears at the door with a key, his uniform wrinkled from a long day. Thought you might not come. Didn't have anywhere else. He lets her in. The store smells like coffee and old wood and something else. Something heavy that settles in corners. Jack flips on a single light behind the counter. You hungry? Yes, sir. He opens a can of soup, heats it on the hot plate he keeps in the back office. They eat in silence. Maya on a wooden crate, Jack in his desk chair. The soup tastes like nothing, but it's warm. Your parents ever mention the Crawfords? Maya looks up from her bowl. Jack's watching her carefully. No, sir. Your daddy ever say anything about my family? Like what? Jack sets down his spoon. It clinks against the metal bowl. Anything at all. He didn't talk much about anybody. Maya studies his face. Why? Just wondering. But his voice says there's more to it. Maya's tired, but she's not stupid. How long you been sheriff? 23 years. Since I was 22. That's young. My daddy was sheriff before me. His daddy before him. Jack's jaw tightens. Crawfords keep the peace around here. What happened to your daddy? Jack goes quiet. Maya waits, spooning soup into her mouth. He died when I was young. How? Doesn't matter. But Maya can see it does matter. The way his shoulders bunch up. The way he won't meet her eyes. Where's your family now? Wife's buried up at Hillcrest. Daughter's gone east. College. You miss them? Every day. Maya sets down her empty bowl. The silence stretches between them like a wire pulled tight. Why you helping me? Jack stands, starts cleaning up. His movements are sharp, controlled. Because it's right. That's not why. She's watching him carefully now. This girl who lost everything in one morning, but still has the nerve to push. Your daddy knew things about this town. About my family. What things? Jack stops moving. His hands grip the edge of the counter. Old things. Things that should stay buried. But they're not buried, are they? Jack looks at her sharply. Too smart, this girl. Too quick to see through lies. Some graves don't stay closed. Maya stands up. The wooden crate scrapes against the floor. What did your daddy do to mine? Wrong question. What's the right one? Jack moves to the window, peers out of the empty street, where yellow streetlights cast circles of pale light. What did your daddy see that he shouldn't have? The words hang in the air, like smoke from a fire nobody wants to admit is burning. 20 years ago, there was trouble in this county. Bad trouble. People got hurt. What people? People like your daddy. Good people who worked hard and kept their mouths shut. Until they didn't. Maya moves closer. Something cold crawls up her spine. What happened? Jack's hand finds his badge again. Old habit when things get complicated. My daddy was sheriff then. Things were different. Law worked different. How different? Different enough that some folks learned to be afraid of uniforms. Maya's eyes narrow. The pieces starting to fit together in her mind. Your daddy hurt people. My daddy kept order. Same thing. Jack's quiet for a long moment. Outside, a dog barks in the distance. Sometimes. The admission costs him something. Maya can see in the way his shoulders drop. Your parents never told you about the Reeves farm? What farm? We never had a farm. Your granddaddy did. Before you were born. Before my daddy decided it would be better if the Reeves family found somewhere else to live. Maya's blood goes cold. Her hands clench into fists. Your daddy took our farm. Not took. Convinced. There's a difference. Is there? Jack meets her eyes finally. No, not really. Maya backs toward the door. Her breathing gets shallow. You knew. This whole time you knew who I was. Maya, that's why you helped me. Guilt. That's not. That's exactly why. She reaches for the door handle. Jack's voice stops her. Where you going? Away from here. It's dark. It's cold. I don't care. Maya, stop. She turns back. Her eyes are blazing now. My family lost everything because of yours. And you want me to be grateful for a can of soup. I want you to be alive. The words hit harder than either of them expected. Maya's hand slips from the door. Why? Because your daddy was a good man who got dealt a bad hand. Because your mama didn't deserve what happened to her today. Because you're 17 and alone and this world eats girls like you alive if nobody stands between you and it. Maya's anger wavers. Just for a second. What really happened to our farm? Jack sits heavily in his chair. Suddenly he looks older than his years. That's a story for tomorrow. No, tonight. Maya, tonight, or I walk out that door and you never see me again. Jack looks at this girl. This fierce, broken girl who won't back down. And he sees something that scares him. He sees himself at 17, learning terrible truths about the man who raised him. He reaches for an old file cabinet. His hands shake as he pulls out a manila folder marked in faded ink. The paper is yellow with age. Sit down. Maya doesn't move. Sit down and I'll tell you everything. Chapter 3. The Truth. Jack opens a folder. Inside are photographs, legal documents, and a handwritten letter. Maya moves closer as he spreads them on the counter under the harsh fluorescent light. Your granddaddy, William Reeves, owned 200 acres just outside town. Good land. Creek running through it. Maya picks up a black and white photo. A farmhouse. Cornfields stretching to the horizon. A man who looks like her father, but older. Stronger. What happened to it? County needed the land. For development. So they bought it? Jack's quiet. Maya can hear the refrigerator humming in the corner. They took it, didn't they? Eminent domain. Legal, technically. Maya looks at the documents. The signatures. The official seals. Everything looks proper on the surface. This says he was paid fair market value. That's what it says. But Jack pulls out another document. A medical report with yellowed edges. Your granddaddy was in the hospital when he signed this. Pneumonia. Could barely hold a pen. Maya reads the doctor's notes. Delirious. Heavily medicated. Confused about time and place. He didn't know what he was signing. No. And your daddy knew this? Jack nods. His face looks carved from stone. What was the land for? What was so important they had to steal it? Jack hesitates, then pulls out the final document. A construction contract with the Crawford name at the top. Family compound. My daddy won a place outside town. Private. Away from questions. Maya stares at the paper. The numbers. The dates. Everything clicking into place. Your daddy stole our farm to build himself a mansion? Yes. The silence stretches between them. Outside, the wind rattles the windows like something trying to get in. Where is it now? The compound. Still there. I inherited it when he died. Do you live there? No. Never could. Maya sets down the papers with careful hands. Because you knew it was wrong. Because I knew it was stolen. She walks to the window, looks out at the empty street where nothing moves except shadows. My daddy knew all this. Your daddy was 12 when it happened, but he remembered. When he got older, he started asking questions. What kind of questions? The kind that made my daddy nervous. Maya turns back. Her eyes are hard now. All the softness burned away. So he made sure my daddy stayed quiet? He made sure your daddy knew there would be consequences if he didn't. What consequences? Jack pulls out the handwritten letter. Maya recognizes her father's careful writing immediately. Your daddy wrote this 5 years ago. Never sent it. Maya takes the letter. Her hands don't shake anymore. She reads aloud. Sheriff Crawford, I know what your father did to mine. I know about the land, the papers, all of it. But I got a family now. A wife and daughter who don't need to pay for old sins. So I'll keep quiet like I always have. But if something happens to me, if I die sudden or strange, somebody should know the truth. Tommy Reeves. Maya folds the letter carefully, places it back on the counter. He knew. He knew. And he kept quiet to protect us. To protect you. Maya stands perfectly still. Jack can see her thinking, processing, planning. What do you want to do about it? Jack looks at her. This girl who's lost everything twice now. Once to death. Once the truth. What do you want to do? Maya thinks for a long moment. Outside, a car drives past. Headlights sweep across the windows and disappear. The compound. How big is it? 40 acres. Big house. Guest houses. Stables. Worth. $1.5 million. Maybe more. Maya nods slowly. Her jaw sets in a way that reminds Jack of her father. I want it back. Maya. Not for money. For them. For my granddaddy who died thinking he'd lost everything. For my daddy who kept quiet his whole life to keep me safe. Jack studies her face. Sees steel there. Sees something unbreakable. You know what that means? Taking on the Crawford name in this county. I know what it means to lose everything, because powerful people decided you don't matter. It won't be easy. Nothing worth doing is. Jack reaches into his desk drawer, pulls out a set of keys. Heavy brass keys on a ring that catches the light. These are to the compound. Maya stares. Her breath catches. Why? Because your daddy was right to keep quiet. But you don't have to. What about you? Your job? Your family legacy? Jack looks at his badge. 23 years of wearing it. 23 years of carrying his father's sins. Some legacies deserve to die. He unpins the badge, sets it on the counter next to the keys. Take them. Maya reaches out. Her fingers close around the keys. They're warm from Jack's pocket. What will you do? Find a new way to keep the peace. Maya looks at the keys in her palm, at Jack's badge lying on the counter, at the documents that prove her family's stolen birthright. My daddy would have wanted me to forgive you, but I'm not my daddy. She pockets the keys and walks to the door, stops with her hand on the handle. Thank you. For what? For choosing right over easy. After she's gone, Jack sits alone in his store. The fluorescent light hums overhead. The documents spread before him like evidence of a crime finally solved. Tomorrow, Maya Reeves will drive to the gates of the Crawford compound. She'll walk through rooms built with her family's stolen dreams. She'll claim what was always hers. And Jack Crawford will figure out how to live with the weight of justice finally served.